Hi, you're watching Sign Up on Dublin Community TV. On today's programme, Teresa shows us how to cook up a delicious treat. Josephine has another story of deaf success. And Kevin's back with a fascinating grammar fact. Last week, I gave you an introduction to Irish politics. Well, today, Sarah Jane has all the info on how you can get involved. Stay where you are, don't go away.
In last week's programme, we looked at what politics meant and found out who all the people involved were. Now, this week it's all about what you do, what your role is and how you can get involved. How does the president and politician get where they are? They are voted in by us.
66 TDs will in the evening, although some are attributing that to the early start,
remains unclear.
taking advantage of the 7:30 start.
Ireland is a democratic country, which means that every Irish citizen, someone who was born in Ireland or became Irish and is over the age of 18, has the right to vote. We decide who represents us in government by voting for them. Then they make decisions on our behalf about healthcare, education, housing, global issues like defence for wars and the environment. Local issues like bins and sports halls are managed by the councillors, whom we also elect.
Hen go the Áras Nuachtarán agus Slacham go Húil leis as leader of the executive.
For hundreds of years, people have fought for the right to vote. We're lucky to live in a democratic society. The opposite of democracy is dictatorship, where one person controls the country, makes all the decisions for a country without considering other people's advice. Like Hitler in Nazi Germany. Voting is the most important way you can get involved in making decisions. So come on, vote. Ireland has an election every 5 years, which means Irish people decide who we want in government. Different political parties will ask you to vote for them. They'll canvass your house, which means they'll knock on your door and tell you about their manifesto. This is their document outlining their party's views and the actions they will carry out if elected, such as reducing tax, improving healthcare, recognising ISL. Before the election, you will also see posters of them everywhere in shops, on the roads, to make you vote for them. What's your view on recognising ISL in the schools?
Oh, I firmly believe that ISL should be recognised in all the schools, and I'm going to make it my job that happens.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
When a politician calls to your door, ask for their views on issues such as ISL recognition or the health services. Ask for their manifesto, their plans if they get elected to government. Different political parties have different manifestos. Try to get as much information as you can, so you can decide which party best matches your own views. Then you'll know who to vote for.
And in Donegal South West, past candidate Paddy McHugh, who's campaigned on local health success of independence.
So, how do you vote? To vote, you must be on the electoral register, which is a list of people who have registered to vote. You must be at least 18 years of age and must live at the address you are registered at. To vote in elections or referendums, you must be an Irish citizen.
I,
You want to vote?
yeah.
Well, have you got your registration paper?
What's that?
You don't... Have you got one of these?
Well, I
No?
don't have one.
Well, you can't vote if you haven't got one of these. Sorry.
Oh.
If you're not sure you're registered, you can check with your local authority, such as your county council. Or you could check their website, www.checktheregister.ie, by keying in your name and address. If you're not registered, do it soon. If you want to be eligible to vote for an election in 2009, you need to be registered before February 2009. Registration forms are available from your Garda station, post office, library or local authority, such as your county council. So now you're registered, you can vote. A few days before the election, you will receive a polling card in the post with details of where and when to cast your vote. Polling stations, the places where you vote, are usually in schools. You'll come to a room like this at the polling station. You must bring 2 forms of identification, driving licence or passport. And you must bring your polling card. Give these 2 items to the staff and they'll hand you a ballot paper which displays the names of the candidates. These are the people who are interested in being elected. They're listed in alphabetical order with their photograph and the name of their political party, and a blank box for you to number your votes. You then go to a private booth and fill in your ballot paper. Mark your first choice, the person that you'd like to be in the government, as number 1. Your second choice is number 2, and so on. You don't have to complete the ballot paper. If you mark the ballot paper with an X or a tick, your vote will not count. What a waste! If you don't feel comfortable filling out the ballot paper, you can bring someone with you to assist. They must be over 16 and they can't assist more than 2 people with their vote. When you have marked your ballot paper, you fold your ballot paper and place it in the ballot box. Voting is confidential and no one will know who you voted for. In Ireland, we also vote in referendums. Those eligible to vote are asked to either accept or reject a particular proposal by ticking yes or no, which will amend the Constitution. Since 1937, more than 20 referendums have been held. The closest result was a 1995 vote on divorce. 50.3% voted yes to legalise divorce and 49.7% voted no. So close, your vote could really make a difference. So, what happens after you've voted in a general election? Ireland is divided into 42 constituencies, or areas. If 20 to 30,000 people live in an area, then one TD can be elected to represent them in Dáil, Éireann. If 40 to 60,000 people live in an area, then 2 TDs can represent them in the Dáil.
Meg sú leis sa saoil políochta. Tuigim go bhfuil jab le dhéanamh ag an rasúra agus fáilte.
In Ireland, the system of voting we use is called proportional representation. With a single transferable vote, or PRSTV. This means that as a voter, you can indicate on the ballot sheet who would be your first choice, your second choice, your third choice, and so on.
Give us your number one. We'll stabilise the economy. Better deal for parents, better children's allowances, bonus for all people. We'll have everything sorted.
A quota is a magic number that a politician needs to get to be elected. A constituency is an area where you live. For example, Dublin North West, Kerry North. So let's pick Dublin North West and say there are 100,000 people in that constituency and 60,000 have voted. Let's say there are 3 seats in the Dáil for Dublin North West. So how do we decide which 3 politicians gets those seats? This is where the quota comes in. Remember, we have 60,000 people that have voted. There are 3 seats, so we divide the number of people, 60,000, by 3 seats, which gives us the quota of 20,000. I've already given my vote to this politician. He's received 26,000 votes in total, and he's reached the target quota of 20,000 to be elected and more. The 6,000 votes left over are called surplus votes. They don't get discarded, but are divided amongst the other candidates in the next round of voting. The number 2 votes are divided again, giving this politician 24,000 votes. So now she has a surplus vote of 4,000. These go to the third round. Once this politician has received all her votes, all the seats have been filled, which means, sorry, you're out.
Brilliant. The right direction. Congratulations. Brilliant battle. You fought well. You fought.
PRSTV. The voting system we use is a fair system. Ireland is one of the few countries in the world that uses the PRSTV system. Some countries use a plurality voting system, which means whoever gets the majority vote wins. So if there are 2 groups and one gets 51% of the vote and the other gets 49%, this means that nearly half the voters lose. That's why the PRSTV system is considered a fair system, as every vote counts. Remember, if you don't register to vote, you have no power to make changes in Ireland. Go on, check the register, and at the next polling day, go and cast your vote.
Hello. Today we're going to talk about the apostrophe. An apostrophe looks like this. Apostrophe means that 2 separate words can be shortened to become one word using an apostrophe. An example of this would be using the words can and not. If we put them together, we get can't. Using the apostrophe, which looks like this. My second example would be the words will and not. If we put them together, we get won't. Have a look here. We and are. When we put these words together, we get we're. Have a look here. For you and are. When we bring these words together with the apostrophe, we make your. See? Remember, it's okay to shorten words like this for informal situations like texting your friends, emailing, etc. But use the full words if you're writing a CV or serious letter, okay?
Hello? Oh, hello. Oh, Teresa, thank God you're home. I need your help. The in-laws are coming over for tea and I have no idea what to make. I've been looking through these books for hours, but it all seems way too complicated with all the measurements, ounces and all that. I don't know what to do. Don't worry. I've the perfect solution. Something quick and simple to make. A quiche Lorraine. It's so easy. Let's look for it in the cookery book. Can you tell me what I need to make pastry? What ingredients I need? We need flour, chopped butter, and cold water. That's right. There you see. The book says we need 185 grams of flour. G is short for grams. There are 1,000 grams in a kilogram. 1 kilogram is equal to 1 kilo of sugar. Here, feel the weight. 1 kilogram, So, we need 3 items. 185 grams of flour, 90 grams of butter, and some cold water. Wait. It says here that we need 185 grams of flour, but it also says 6 ounces. How would I know which one to use? OZ means ounces. And pounds, LB, they're older units of measurement. If you weigh out 185 grams or 6 ounces, you will get the same amount of flour. You can see there, 185 grams. That's 90 grams. This is a sieve. We make the pastry by adding the flour. Sieving it removes any lumps, and raising it up while sieving allows us to get air into the flour. I'll show you now. Like this. Oh, I see. It keeps the pastry light. Now we add the butter. You mix it like this. Okay, so what's next there in the book? Oh, I see. So next we need to preheat the oven. What does that mean? Okay, come over. We'll warm the oven up to 190 degrees Celsius. Here in Ireland, we use degrees Celsius. You can also use gas mark 5. If you see the F symbol, this is used more often in America and stands for Fahrenheit. Right, let's finish this. It says here we need 4 tablespoons of water. I always get mixed up with teaspoon and tablespoon. I find it confusing. This is a tablespoon. And this is a teaspoon. The kind you would use for your tea. This is smaller than the tablespoon. Mix all that in to make a soft dough. And then you knead the dough to get all the air out. And you can use the base of your hands here. Place flour on the rolling pin to stop it from sticking when rolling. I'll show you. Okay, that's done. Next thing to do is to get a tin, like this one here. We'll grease the tin to stop the pastry from sticking, so when we place the pastry in, it'll be easier to lift out. Okay, next. What does bake blind mean? It's where you half bake the pastry. If we don't half bake it and put in the filling, the base will go soggy. So by half baking it, the pastry will be firm. First up, I need to fork the pastry. What are you doing that for? This is to stop the pastry from rising. We also need some grease-proof paper. By doing this helps the pastry not to rise. We need something to weigh the paper down, so I'm going to put some rice in. This is going to help keep the pastry flattened, and I'm going to put it in the oven now. We'll leave that in the oven for about 15 minutes. These are the ingredients for the filling. Now, first up, we'll need cream and milk. For the cream, we need 185 mils. Mils is short for millilitres. 1,000 millilitres is equal to 1 litre. Let's have a look on the jug. This jug is half a litre. Let's put in our stuff. The cream, we need 185 mils. And we need 60 mils milk. We also need 4 beaten eggs, 6 rashers, and a chopped onion. Okay, first we'll do the eggs. 15 minutes are up. I think the pastry might be ready. Thanks, Elaine. Oh, looks lovely. Okay, now let's take this out. Now we can put the onion and bacon into the tin. We'll add some pepper and a little salt to add some flavour. Next, we'll add chives on top to add some colour and decoration. We're finished. It's ready to put in the oven. We'll put it in for 30 minutes, okay? Do you want to open the door for me? Ta-da! Today's deaf success story is Dame Evelyn Glennie, a profoundly deaf woman from Scotland, who is the first person in musical history to create and sustain a full-time career as a solo percussionist. She gives more than 100 performances a year and has won over 80 international awards for her music. And her documentary, Touch the Sound. She is also a successful businesswoman, selling her own range of jewellery, merchandise, and writing a best-selling autobiography. Evelyn says, "There is much I still aspire to achieve. And as with all awards of recognition, this gives me the impetus to continue to try and make a difference on a global scale throughout my many fields of activity and interest."
That's all for today's sign-up. If you'd like more information on how to make Teresa's quiche, or information on voting, you can check out our website, www.deaf.ie, or call into the IDS office in Blessington Street for more information. If you want to improve your literacy skills with the assistance of a deaf tutor, why not contact the Deaf Adult Literacy Service, DALS, to find out about classes near you. That's it for today. See you next week. Bye.